YouTube's like new menu to start a stream is a little weird. Like it's the same, but it's all in one page now, and the next is like let you know, hey, you're about to go live. You have to click that again, and then it's like a countdown, and then you go live. It's weird. I don't like it. It's kind of honestly a little annoying. It's like, come on, son of a bitch. It's like, why must it be annoying? Sweet. Talk of the late break and shit sitting the fans MC. Dude, it's like work really been fucked up. That's what you said yesterday. Is it still like fans being, hitting the shits? Cool. No, yesterday was fine. Wednesday night was ass, and tonight was even worse. Oh, yesterday was fine. Oh, so it was Wednesday night. Okay, so just this week has been kind of a roller coaster of like, kind of cool, fucked, cool, fucked, yeah, all right, fucked. It could be worse, but still fucked, fucked. You know what's weird? I miss those fucking weeks. I miss those weeks of, where I go to work and I'm like, all right, gotta be a pretty slow day and pretty chill, just like yesterday. I show up to work, oh, it's all fucked. Oh, no, it's all fucked. Collective fucked. So on another shift installed something wrong and it took out a bunch of shit. Spent 4.5 hours fixing it. Just because he plugged something in wrong? That's actually kind of impressive. Was that deliberate? Like, that had to be deliberate. It's like, I could plug it in correctly, nothing goes wrong, or I could plug it in incorrectly and everything fucks up. Sounds like almost it. No, it wasn't intentional. No, it wasn't electrical. Well, I'm not saying electrical. I'm just saying whatever it was, it fucked everything up, apparently. So, mounted literally backwards. So, all right, that doesn't sound deliberate. That just sounds like someone was a moron. Damn, bro. Damn. That generally sucks. Fuck. What I feel like today would probably be a little better, of a day. You know what I mean? If you were to, like, just say, fuck it. I'm calling in. Work's too shit. Because today was pretty legit. Honestly, like, I'm kind of happy about, today. I ended up, like, kind of hanging out, for out of Milwaukee for a little bit with Harley, and he bought me breakfast. I had all nighter after I, left Logan's last night. And then just kind of hung around Milwaukee for a little bit. Got breakfast, and then Harley bought me a sticker, too. And then came back here, was talking around a little bit, about maybe going to Duffman's. And then Tyler comes out of nowhere, being like, yo, you want to go to the show at the Twilight? Now he, like, woke up, and I was like, I was told you would pick me up to take me to Duffy's or something. Wait, there's a show at the Twilight? What? It's like, yeah, Headless Pez is playing. And I was just like, I don't even give a fuck what else is playing. You said Headless Pez, and I was sold. So I was like, all right, that's what I'm doing today. Covered that, bought my drinks, shared his fries when he had a BLT, at the Twilight, and I was like, all right, I can't even really complain today. I was going to be like, damn, I got some shit I need to deal with, but honestly, all in all, the good distractions. Because my Robinhood account still hasn't, made it so I can withdraw, like, my $21 of buying power that I have so I can put it in my actual account. Well, $20, there's like $1 fee. But, I mean, that will go into, like, some other stuff that will help me a little bit. I mean, I guess I technically have 80, but that's strictly for phone bills. Like, that's not being touched, so. Oh, well, something else was said. shit in the fan also, which is for some reason the others couldn't handle. So the boss aren't going to be happy about that. I don't know even the details of the second one. I was too busy with the first. The phone just kept blowing up. Oh my god, bro. For me, after a certain point, I just want to be like, look, I'm fixing these issues. I'll get to it when I get to it, you know? Like, I would even put on Do Not Disturb or mute or something, you know, just so you can still technically get the notifications, but you're just not being blasted constantly, you know, having to hear like 8,000 beeps, you know, per hour, you know, about like, hey, we got a problem. Also kind of tempted to call out next Friday for LMH. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. I swear, my Jedi Sith mind tricks are working on you. I'm gonna make it happen, goddammit. I'm gonna pressure you to do it. I already said, just like, you know, it's one day. You might get a tiny cut. Yeah, that sucks. But the meme must die. The meme must end. You know what I mean? Like, we got to end the meme. We got to transcend the meme. And shit, I kind of want to go too, but I did tell them I can't be in two places at once. So the remote people told me to do the first one. Oh, yeah. Wait, so they have like people like at like some remote office like that? You have to like that let you know about this shit? I'm learning some stuff about your work where I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, wait a minute. There ain't no, like, because if there's, like, you know, some remote spot where, you know, there's people there to, like, kind of, like, talk to you about shit, that's, like, if there's, like, a problem with a certain, you know, issue or whatever, that just seems a little weird. I'm not calling for it to go along. Well, it's because of my job situation, you know, like, if it wasn't for that, I want to, and I'm definitely going to try to shoot for it. Maybe Logan will, you know, say something about it. Maybe Tyler has a day off. Like, if somebody with at least concurrently has got the means for it, I can go. I just don't right now. That's the problem. It's in February, right? Like, it's not coming up because I know it's like a 15th or not the 15th, like the 16th or 17th. I don't know if that's January or February. Not sure if Tyler's working or not. Well, if it's in February, then yeah, for sure. Next Friday? Next Friday? Oh, fuck. I think I might be able to make something work out. I mean, you know, like, maybe. I mean, if there's, like, commitment, too, like, you know, there could be a cover, too, you know, for me at least, you know, with you or something, but that's, you know, like, because I don't want to not go, obviously. If I have a chance and having the means to, I'm going to fucking take it, you know, and, you know me, like, I can find a way to make shit work out, usually. Like, sometimes it's a struggle and a pain in the ass, it's stressful as fuck for me, but there's been times where I'm able to kind of figure some shit out, and especially with shit like this. Like, I've been able to figure shit out with shows pretty, like last second too, even. So I'm pretty sure I can make something work out for that. Because I know Logan knows about it, and I can ask. You know what? I could actually directly talk to Eric Molina himself and maybe see if I can get at least one free ticket. So you could buy one and have a free one, and you could take the free one or whatever the fuck or some shit, like, you know, or I can. Either way, like, I mean, I could possibly do that, but I'll have to, like, straight call him about that instead of just text him. You know, like, I'd want to actually have, like, you know, a phone call about that specifically. Where's the show? The Crystal? I don't think it's the Crystal Ballroom. I don't remember. I just remember, you know, I remember him talking about, I think, the Burnside Skate Park as maybe doing, like, a little, like, unofficial show where it would be announced. I don't know if that's it or if it's another actual official show like at the Twilight or the Hawthorne Hideaway. I mean, that or Dante's maybe. I mean, honestly, I'm not 100% sure right now. Hence why I could just directly text Eric. I could literally just, like, I could literally just hit him up. Oh shit, Commonwealth. That's a good venue. The Commonwealth, huh? I actually never been there before, so. Well, another reason for me to maybe go check it out. Never been to that venue before. Well, I better really start trying to figure out a way to make that fucking work. Silence, you little heathen. Plus, I know next Friday, Brian gets paid for the job that he did today with the temp thing. And, Sukoff, really? And, I know he could probably, also maybe, cover for me as well. Because I know that him and I will most certainly want to go. Like, he definitely would want to check out Los Malblados again, for sure. I mean, he literally just went to sleep right before I started this, so $10. So if I can find an ATM, I can cover if we decide to go. Well, how about we decide now and say, fuck it, send it. Let's just send it. That's what I'm telling you. I didn't know about, like, the deets of the actual show itself. I just know I was going to try to go. I don't know the other bands. What's the name of them? I might know a few. Hold on, I'm going to let my dog out. Because he obviously needs to. But here, while you're doing that, I'll do that. Hey, old Johnny boy. There we go. I'm not deciding now. I need to. Oh wait, hold on. I need to cool down from the shit show. Serial is a band. So Los Malblados and Serial. Well, you don't have to decide now, obviously. But I mean, I'll at least say, hey, if it's like legit, just like $10, fuck it. What the fuck? Girl Syndrome. I have actually heard of Girl Syndrome. I have not seen them live, but I have heard of them. And I've also seen their stickers, in different bars and venues before. Los Malblados headlining. Oh fuck yeah, dude. All right, yeah, that's gonna be a quality show. I mean, maybe the other bands, are probably up and coming, but Girl Syndrome is probably maybe the only other one I kind of recognize. Counterfeit Kubrick. I don't think I've heard of them. But I like the name, Counterfeit Kubrick. I like it. Because I think if I had to take a guess, that's meant to be kind of like a little reference towards Stanley Kubrick. Literally people skate in the back. That is the fucking show Eric was talking about. It wasn't the Burnside Bridge. Though when he was talking about it with me, it wasn't set in stone which venue he was going to do. He wanted to do it at the Burnside skate park area right under the bridge. But, like, all in all, like, I mean, that is even more badass. That's actually awesome. So there's like, a little skate rink in the back. Dude, that would be legit. If they don't make a music video for that, I'm actually going to ask, like, hey, you're going to do a little music video or something? Because, honestly, maybe I'll bring my bike, and then Brian can bring his BMX, and he could kind of flex out some BMX tricks, for the video or something. And it's also indoor. Nice. I mean, honestly, if it was outdoor, like at the Burnside skate park area, I wouldn't give a fuck. Because if you're skinking to the beat, moshing and shit like that, and dancing and stuff, like, and got like a couple beers in you or some shit. I mean, you know what I mean? It's one of those things where it's just like, yeah, like you're gonna warm up. Oh my god, why did Brian convince me to get this? Ugh. Last drink Tyler buys us, and Brian convinced me to make it this fucking thing. I'm gonna try to finish this, but Jesus fucking Christ. What is that? I know it's backwards, but it says Four Loko. Brian has his that he like half drank and he was like, oh fuck, I'm going to bed. Like he pretty much immediately did that. I was like, all right, I'm sipping this bitch. Like, I mean, nasty Four Loko. Honestly, this flavor would be good if it didn't have that sour right there. If it was just Galactic Punch, this would generally be dangerous. Maybe that's why they had the sour in there to kind of make you like not want to chug it so much, unless you love sour, and I don't. So it's not sour, but just enough to be like, yeah. See, literally, it's just enough to be like, ah. Because yes, it's kind of nasty. Not as nasty as this like resin, rations of weed, nicotine bullshit that I'm smoking. I mean, frankly, this is more disgusting than that. So that's why I'm sipping this more than smoking. And I swear to God, if Robin Hood kind of fails me tomorrow, you know, like I'm gonna be a little sad. I like actual sour, not the fake ass Four Loko sour Lamau. Well, again, it wasn't really inherently my choice. I was gonna try to be like, all right, we will split the Four Loko. Like the initial intention, I was thinking, we'll split the Four Loko because there ain't no way he's finishing that by himself, which, shocker, he didn't. And I could have a tweet. Like, you know, I'll just finish the rest of that. You know, he passes the fuck out, and then I have a little tweet to cleanse the palate. But he was just like, yeah, just get another Loko and just, there you go, we'll just split those together. And I was like, knowing you, you're going to pass out before you even finish the other one. Let alone crack it. Like, I had like a fifth, you know, from his, and then he was like, I'm going to bed, and then he took it with him. So if he wakes up occasionally, he's probably going to like, gunk, gunk, gunk. All right, sleep again. Which, whatever, you know. That's his prerogative. I'm just going to push through and hope for the best. You know, actually, you know, speaking of shows anyway, of course, I had to record some song-ronies. I would have uploaded some shit today, but when me and Tyler went to Duffy's, their Wi-Fi was off. They only had the Duffy's admin, you know, Wi-Fi, and obviously the guest Wi-Fi password doesn't work for that. So I was shit out of luck because I wanted to upload some fucking videos of shit from the past couple shows, let alone this one. In fact, I wasn't even going to upload the shit from tonight. I was going to upload the shit from New Year's and on the 28th. I was like, I want to do that, but nope. But actually, you know, a good opportunity to at least see how good or bad, you know, the sound quality is. You know, always good, you know. Turn that down. Yeah, I know. That's usually how concerts are about it. And Headless Pez's drummer, Miles, like, he had his birthday today, and the dude, hold on, I gotta show it. The dude, so they got a bedpan, you know, for, like, you know, elderly or, like, you know, people that have, you know, issues down there. Like, they had one of those, and they, oh my God, hold on, I gotta show it, dude. There was a whole fucking line of people that, like, they demanded this. They're like, yo, people, give our boy some birthday drink. We have this bedpan thing. Dump all your shit in this. We know you're not drinking all that. And there was a literal fucking line of people, dude. Hold on, let me find it. Well, let me pause that first so it's not constant random noise. Oh, here we go. Everyone's pouring it in the bedpan. There's a can in there. Someone bought, like, you know, a fucking Pabst Blue Ribbon, had half of it, and just bloop, just put it upside down in there. Like it looked like a gigantic log of a shit just sticking out of it. And guess what? The motherfucker literally chugs the damn thing 3 times. 3 different times throughout the show, they fill it up. This is the first time, and he's just like, go, go, go. Like, takes it all, bro. Look at him dancing around. I thought I already passed it, but no, here we go. But yeah, hold on. We're gonna make a big screen. Oh, it's even better. Dude, this is a way to celebrate a birthday. Drinking mixed alcohol from a show in a bedpan as a drummer. Fucking going hard. Look at him. Just flawless. Flawless. That's a way to start a show, because the guitarist, he was like, so we're going to do our choose our own adventure book. Who wants to see Miles drink this bedpan of alcohol, like at the start? Before you could even finish it, everyone was like, yeah, including me. Everyone like immediately was like, yes. And they're like, oh, okay, that answers the question. Just like, that quickly. But then it goes into the music, at least, which, man, wish the audio would be a little better, but it's not the worst thing in the world. Well, once they actually, kind of gets to the singing part, it kind of helps blend it better. Well, actually, it's not the worst. There's been plenty of venues I've been to where the audio is generally kind of more fucked. So, honestly, all in all, not the worst. Though that makes me realize that maybe some of the other videos probably are going to be a little shiz, at least audibly potentially shiz. Hopefully not, but actually, here, let me look up this other band. Honestly, I do not know what this fucking band name is called, because literally their logo for the band name is indecipherable. Like, I've looked at it, I'm like, how the fuck do you say that? I'm just like, what is this? But I'll admit, they were pretty fucking badass, because all of them were wearing these little baklavas. Like, all of them. The entire time, just, like, not showing their identity. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, all right. Not the first time I've seen bands do that before. Like, there's a Hispanic band, Brujeria, from Mexico, that does the same thing, and they also have, like, bandanas sometimes, with their hats like this and shit, where it's, the bandanas are, like, up here, and they have, like, eye holes, cut out of them, basically, and then, like, a little mouthful area where, like, kind of like a baklava, but it's a bandana. Like, Brujeria does that, so they're not the only band to kind of, like, overt conceal the identity, so to speak, for a band. I will say, I mean, it's kind of, since it doesn't happen that often, at least from the shows I've been to, it's kind of cool. Especially if there's, like, some hardcore, like, brutal, like, political shit being talked. Because with Brujeria, they absolutely go deep with shit like that. Including talking about, like, like the spirituality of, like, death and shit, like, and the fascination with it, because in Mexico there are some regions in Mexico and certain states in Mexico where some places literally worship death, where you can find, like, graffiti of skulls everywhere, shit like that, where, like, Cinco de Mayo kind of thing is literally, like, a year-round, like, it's a norm, basically, because if you think about it, because of a lot of violence and death and cartel warfare and bloodshed, especially in the last, like, 20, 30, 40 fucking years, where it's, you might as well kind of worship almost. It's kind of like a melancholy, like, nihilism almost towards the idea, about it. But at the same time, it's also not. I mean, I don't completely understand it myself, to be fucking frank, but, I mean, there's definitely, like a major connection towards that. And I definitely find it very fascinating. Because, I mean, like, there's, like, a lot of cultures that have, like, a element of, like, not really a worship of death, but at least, kind of like a sense of respect for it. But, like, some places, at least in Mexico, they, like, dead ass straight fucking worship it. Like, as a sense of, like, it's a part of the cultural, like, thing of like, yeah, we love this, in a way. Not literally bringing it or succumbing to it, but just acknowledging it as a thing and like partying to it, I guess. I don't know. Again, it's not really something I can entirely understand. I just know it's kind of a thing, especially in some places in Mexico and stuff. And it's why Brujeria, at least, to bring it back full circle, really goes deep about shit like that, including, being critical about, like, politics, government, cartels, all sorts of fucking shit. It's partly why they conceal their identity, though. I mean, some of the band members are known. Like, I mean, there are definitely some that are recognized, because they are in other bands, but not all of them. There's actually a lot of them that, only are in Brujeria, and, outside of a nickname, no one really knows exactly who they are. Outside of the band themselves, and unless they themselves decide to open up about that. And honestly, I guess given enough fucking searching, you could probably find out who they are, but, I mean, either way, still really cool. Well, those last like 30 to 40 seconds were awful. Taking that shit and then sip of that. Wow. I don't feel it, but feels good, but the taste don't. It's like, nasty. Rough. Man, dude, I would have been able to gotten a goddamn 8th today if it wasn't for the fucking fact that Robinhood was being done with its one business day, when it comes to, like, let me withdraw the buying power that's literally not in any stocks or anything. I've, like, $21 in buying power that I put out specifically so I could withdraw it, and I couldn't at all today. So hopefully tomorrow I can. Because instead I had to wait a business day, which I've never had to do that before, so that's annoying. Maybe it's because I, like, pulled out, like, a little bit from, like, 3 or 4 of my stocks, and because that is, like, a high traffic of trade, at least for selling, Robinhood will limit certain things about, if you, are, like, a little too hyperactive with it, so maybe that's it. But if so, it's fucking annoying because I'm doing that for a fucking reason. I mean, I keep saying it, but it's like, I mean, it could be, yeah, probably. I mean, but also I keep saying, but it's like, I probably should just have, like, a Cash App, like, in my description or even in my fucking video titles or some shit. I don't know. Just on the virtue of just, like, like, if a fucking $5 or something comes my way, but, like, honestly, like, I'd rather at least, wait until I get bigger, you know what I mean? And also, actually, I have a possibility where I can. I remember because of the whole, like, fiasco, which also Marshall Manson / Andrew released another video today that's, like, 45 minutes long. And I'm sitting here just like, oh my fucking God, dude. Like, I don't even know. Whatever. I don't give a fuck. Like, I might watch it just to see, like, what his take is about some other shit. But beyond that, I'm done with it. But either way, it's just like, because of that, before the end of the year last time, I thought I unintentionally, accidentally burnt a bridge with him. But out of nowhere, he hit me up, be like, hey, Happy New Year's, bro. Do you want to be a guest, on our, show, like, on a Sunday? It's like 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. And I'm just like, sure, sounds fun, honestly. Fuck it. Puts my name out there. And also, like, I mean, if it's 4:30 in the afternoon Eastern Standard Time, that means I might have to be up by noon. Probably. Because the show goes live at 5 Eastern Standard, so that might mean at least 1 o'clock around here. So whatever happens next Saturday, or at least in February, whenever like that date they have set, I'll just be like, well, I'm going to bed early on Saturday. That's for sure. Because I could put my name out there, I'm sure they probably wouldn't care too much if I at least shield my Cash App and stuff. So I mean, I'll even ask them about that. Like, hey, it's okay if I like show my channel / like a Cash App or something like that, just because at least concurrently I'm going through my own bullshit right now where I need to deal with my shit. So I think you'll probably get it a little bit, because I know like him and I like the guy, and I think he kind of likes me too a little bit, which is why he is like, look, we'll just have a clean slate with the new year, which hey, he's definitely consistent with that, and I'm just like, sweet, yay. We're not like unintentionally not liking each other anymore, because hey, I think honestly for me it's because like I was straight with them, being like, look, you can even openly tell him or somebody that still hasn't connected the guy, let him know it's literally me and you had nothing to do with it. Like put the blame on me all you want. Like look, I'll take full ownership of that shit. But he was like, look, I'm 44. I don't give a fuck. Let's just start a clean slate. And I was like, fair. I was like, fair. Happy New Year's, and we'll talk again after that. And hey, there we go. So hopefully, that will actually come in some fruitions. And plus, me and Phoebes need to talk again a little bit, because the last time we talked was before I saw Bridge City Sinners, and I was kind of telling her about that, and I was like, I've been kind of meaning to do a little stream with her at some point to be like, talk about that, maybe a couple other things too. Maybe if anything, just music. So I think that would be kind of cool. At least I'm finally kind of like got some foots in the door. I mean, honestly, despite my bullshit, I've unintentionally got my foot in the door in a lot of different places that I didn't really realize. Like with the music scene here at Portland, with Los Mamblados and Eric, with larger videos, I guess. And then also have like Phoebes, even though she's kind of a little small being herself, but at least just has like two local, well, not local, but like two like American, like like folk lefty punk kind of artist types, and play guitar and shit. Like there's already connect there, so there's a possibility of maybe making like collab stuff, or at least just at the minimal, just kind of like collectively or like cooperatively, like kind of help building channels with each other a little bit. Yeah, Beefafu. It's a YouTube channel called Low Energy Videos. He has his own Discord server that Rose is also a part of. And he's like an Irishman out in Ireland. And he usually will do streams kind of similar to what I do, but he does gaming, shit like that. Has his own show, and so like before, and with Marshall Manson / Andrew, because he doesn't go by Marshall Manson anymore, but he goes by Andrew with 3 O's instead of an E. And so like there was an unintentional like squabble up, a little bit, to quote some Kendrick, when it came to that for a minute. But I kind of recognized like, I fucked up. So like I think that's what helped kind of maintain that. That's kind of, honestly, it wasn't even a beef. It was mostly just like Marshall like heard some bullshit from the grapevine, which honestly wasn't even completely accurate in the first place. And it was just partially kind of slanderous, like whoever the fuck it was. I don't know who it was. He censored the name on Marshall's post about that, because he made a community post that I know for a fact was talking about me, but not by name. Because somebody sent a message about Low Energy Videos Discord about how somebody was going unhinged and crazy about like, his video or something, or about his, what he's doing. I'm just like, that's ridiculous. Like, maybe honestly, like a little like partially emotional, sure, but not unhinged or like whatever the fuck was mentioned. Because frankly, like, because I like Marshall, I like Paul, TJ, etc., blah, 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 like, but, and it's like, dude, like, especially as a musician kind of thing, artist to artist, kind of shit, it's like, dude, this is not the way, especially for other people who might want to look into you as an artist and as a person, are going to see that type of shit and wonder what the fuck happened here. You know, and they could probably not give an iota of a fuck about TJ Paul, whoever the fuck. They don't. Chances are, if you got like a record label or anyone else or someone, you know, business wise that looks at something like that, they're not going to care. They're going to think, oh, you know, you had some bad blood at some point, bad business relations, and now you're going after them for some reason. You know, they don't really care. Like, you know, someone from a business mindset is not going to care. Like, they're going to look at it as like, you used to do business with this particular, you know, production, Pessimist Productions, broadly, at least specifically TJ and Paul, mostly Paul, I would assume. And it's just like, I mean, you know, that to someone who does business, especially if they're in like the music production scene, they're going to kind of take note of stuff like that. And it's not going to be positive. Like, because, hey, you can have beef and bad blood all you want, man. I mean, straight up. But at the end of the day, like, if you do shit like that, if people care enough about, like, the art and the person or the people broadly behind that art, especially if there's, like, you know, a separation of that, you know, like Los Malvados and Dumbia, for example. Because Stevie Diaz, their original guitarist of Los Malvados, separated from the band because of contention and clashing to the point where he kind of did a similar thing. Like on Facebook and Instagram and places like that, like talking mad shit, you know, not just to the band of Los Malvados, but also to kind of Eric and a few other people, like by name specifically. You know, and it's like, that does not look good for other people business-wise in this broader scene when it comes to shit like that, whether it's online, local around here, or anywhere else besides. Like, especially if, like, so, you know, if you have, like, you know, someone who's, like, in that management side of things when it comes to, like, creating art and producing it and shit like that, I'm just being blunt, they take note of shit like that. They just do. You can have all the, you know, beef and problems and shit like that you want with your former creative partners and former business, you know, aspects of things when it came to, like, certain bands or whatever the fuck. Like, you can have that all you want, but leave it out of, like, you know, the broader, like, you know, like, scene with shit like that. You know what I mean? I was even mentioning about that, like, when it came to, you know, the situation between, like, TJ and Marshall, because apparently that's what really kicked it off, you know, was TJ, which... It's TJ. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, it's TJ Kirk, formerly the Amazing ACS, you know? It's like, I don't know. Like, dude, I mean, like, a lot of the shit that he was trying to, like, you know, get him off on about, especially at least in that first video, it's like, dude, 80% of the shit you're talking about, one, Brett Keane, like, over a decade ago was talking about, and you're just bringing that shit back up again for whatever reason. And for two, a lot of stuff that, you know, at worst can be kind of seen as weird, creepy, and maybe, like, you know, needs to, like, zip his lip a little bit sometimes when it comes to, like, people he thinks he might be, you know, acquainted or friends with or buddies with online and sending weird photos or whatever the fuck, shit like that. And I mean by photos like memes or, like, kind of more raunchy, edgy, sexual kind of stuff, but nothing about him, like, you know, sending dick pics or something. He's not doing that. But still, it's just like, that type of behavior about TJ, though, everyone already knows. Like, ever since I've been a fan of TJ, I've known that. It's like, yeah, he's a raunchy, edgy, fucking, you know, like, you know, kind of blunt dude. Like, I mean, I've gotten the wrath of this motherfucker before. I've gotten that type of shit. Like, I mean, you know, so it's like, I know how he operates, and it's like, you kind of have to take it up or chin, especially when it comes to TJ. I mean, it's one thing when it comes to, like, Paul or, like, Scott even or anyone else, but, like, with TJ, like, you know, you just have to kind of understand that he's who he is, and he's not going to give a fuck about what you think or, you know, operate around him as. He's going to just be him. Which, in a way, I admire, you know, honestly, to be frank. Do I have to like, you know, his elements of his weirdness, like, you know, when it comes to, you know, being into vor and stuff like that or whatever the fuck? No, because I don't like that shit. It's weird, but whatever. Like, oh no, a man has his kinks. Fuck, stop the presses. A man has kinks? A human being on the planet has kinks? Oh shit. Stop the presses! I thought everybody was vanilla. There's a person with a kink. And it's Vor? It's like, give me a break. Oh, noes. Exactly. Oh, noes. I mean, goddamn, bro. It's so dumb. It just, I mean, that's why I think it's just so petty. And like how I said, I don't really give a fuck, and yet I'm still talking about it. I mean, you know, well, you know, thanks, Marshall, for fucking, you know, like, having the YouTube algorithm fucking pull that video up out of nowhere today. Which, I haven't seen it, but I can only imagine a lot of it just sounds like it's probably going to be shit I already know, and most people already do. So what the fuck ever. It's like, man, you kind of burnt a bridge for really no fucking reason with, you know, not just like, you know, specific, you know, business partners formerly or whatever, but also if like about a community that, you know, even if, you know, they got their feelings or whatever about teach or whoever, probably burn a bridge there too. I mean, it's just not smart. Sound the kink alarms. I know, dude. We gotta sound the kink alarms. Someone has a kink. An exceptionally egregious one. Vor/cannibalistic fetishism. It's like, good lord. I mean, yeah, because TJ is literally going to be like Jeffrey Dahmer and try to cannibalize, you know, like twinks, you know, out in his local area, and fucking like, like wrap like, you know, fucking beef Wellingtons in human skin to like consume and shit or whatever the fuck. Like, yeah, exactly. That's exactly what TJ is going to do. Yeah, TJ is literally going to go into a witch's brew, have himself slowly but surely carved up and, you know, and made into a fucking broth. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, TJ literally, you know, if he had like, you know, $5 million to just say, fuck it, I want it, like he would absolutely do it. 100%. Actually, knowing TJ, he probably would. So I guess it doesn't work as much as I think it is when it comes to my point. But the point being is, like, if someone came up to him being like, hey, I want to make you into, like, you know, a crock pot, you know, like, it's okay if I, like, you know, like some Herman Mayvey shit. Like, it's okay. Via contract, I could take, like, an arm, a leg, and some body fats and some other shit, you know, like, slowly but surely kind of, like, you know, take pieces from you and then just, like, you know, eat you. I guarantee you it's going to be like, no. Like, because, I mean, there's a line when it comes to fantasy and reality. Most people, especially when it comes to more, you know, extreme kinks like that, usually keep it in the fantasy realm. Because they know in real life, chances are, it's like a one-time thing, kind of literally sometimes. Especially if it's like a vor fetish and shit, like, the whole point is you're getting eaten. At least, like, all at once. It's like kind of the idea, but I mean, broadly, it's the whole idea is that, like, I like to consume or be consumed. That's kind of the idea. And whatever. Not my thing. It's weird, but let people have the fun. I don't give a shit. Let TJ have his moment. Or moments, or whatever. At least mouth flapping noises, I know. And I know after Marshall became kind of a Christian, he had like a short period of time where he kind of tried to reconnect some bridges. But I remember in the first video, it was like, nah, actually, after some time, my shit's been reinforced. And it's like, do you really think it's probably because you're a little bit of like, you know, a Christian dogmatist now a little bit? You won't admit it, but he kind of is. Especially considering how he's like made a massive 180 change. What's all of your piece? Is that a Fix-A-Flat? A Fix-A-Flat? Wait, what? Oh, this stuff? It's this. It's Gorilla Glue. I dropped it once and it had like a perfect little fracture, so I used the Gorilla Glue to kind of help seal it back up to make it operational again. There's still like a hole or two in a few spots, and I think there's one over here and maybe over here, I think, somewhere. But I'm gonna have to, like, you know, fill this up with like something, or maybe even like, you know, just seal up, you know, this area and then the car back here and just see what leaks out. when it comes to the water, and just kind of like look exactly in those areas and just kind of, reapply a little bit more of this. Because it's kind of back to its former self, but there's a few tiny little holes that if the stem itself gets a little clogged, you ain't pulling shit, like at all. In fact, you can even kind of hear a little whistle. That little, like that's those are those tiny little holes I'm talking about. At least it's plastic, because if not, this thing would have shattered in fast pieces, and I'd be fucked with this little thing. And what I'm mixing with this fucking thing, Lord of mercy, that I would die. Like, that would be awful. Those holes over, yeah. Yep, been there. Oh, yeah. I mean, we all have. I'm kind of partially in that boat now. I just have this at least as a backup. And luckily, because it's a plastic piece, I mean, honestly, all in all, I mean, even with like this bullshit and everything, I can still put a bunch of stickers on it. I like how, I'm slowly but surely adding more, because I put that one on there. That's the most newest one. After the 28th. I've had this little donut bone thing there for a while. This cute little dude's been there for a while. That one's been there for a minute. That one's at least, I think, been there since after August, like around September or something. Doesn't look horrible. Yeah, it ain't. And also, there's still plenty of canvas. You have to put stickers. In fact, I want to put some stickers around this little piece. Oh, you know what? Actually, I do. Hold on. I actually do. So Headless Pez, they literally had these little stickers, and the guitarist and vocalist gave me a bunch of them. It literally says for rectal use only. I'm putting it on this. I'm putting it on here now. Where should I put it? You know what? I'm gonna put it right now. Yeah. There we go. There we go. So if anyone asks what that little orange stripe is, I can be like, it's because this bong is for rectal use only. I was half tempted to maybe ask Tyler if I could like buy a poster of theirs, because they had this one called Dog Jerker, where it had like this goofy, weird little like dog piece that it was literally like, it literally had its like red rocket out, but it was just sitting there like, but it kind of looked like partially grotesque, but metal at the same time. I was like, I kind of want that poster. And I was looking at like the few other ones. I'm like, man, if I had some fuck you money right now, which even $30 would be that to me at this point. It's like, shit, I would get one of those. But he did give me a shirt. So he got me a shirt. That's good enough. Oh, and I also did get a pin as well. Can I even show the pin? I'll show it from a distance, because there's some phallic objects. But it's actually their original concept art for their first album. But it never, like, kind of went through. So they're just like, we made these pins before we, like, finished the album, basically. At least when it came to the album cover. So we're just like, all right, fuck it. We'll just, like, just have a bunch of these pins and just kind of give them out. Because I was asking, like, how much their pins are, and they're just like, just take them. Honestly, if you want, like, one or two of them, just, like, there's no price on them. I was like, shit. And he was like, you know what, hold on. He literally went back, grabbed, like, 3 stickers, and grabbed those, for rectal use only stickers, and, like, it had a whole fat roll of them, just, like, ripped a good chunk of it. It's like, here you go. Have fun with that. I was like, shit, all right, sweet, free stickers, nice, boom. Fist bumps shit. I know that they're going to be playing again sometime in April, probably early April, and definitely going to want to see them live again. Because I found out that they don't really got that many live performances on YouTube. They got some stuff on YouTube, but not a lot. I'm just like, God damn it. They've been around for a while, like for 20 years, apparently. So it's like, what? And you don't have that much shit out there? It's like, we need to change this immediately. Luckily, I like to record things. I do have that one stream from SessFest too. I mean, I might one day like need to clip that like specifically, you know, and just upload that as like a full performance thing as a video, because like, you know, like the stream itself definitely still gets somewhat traction because I put a fuckload of hashtags, you know, when it comes to like, you know, music related kind of stuff, but like they themselves specifically kind of need that, you know, a little bit when it comes to traction. Same with Cheapskate too, because I streamed like the two more obscure bands that I listened to. You know, I happened to live stream at SessFest. It's like, fuck. Maybe I should have recorded those instead. Because like, motherfucker. Because they need more like specific stuff out there, you know, that's like available. But there's, at least for Cheapskate, there is some, but not a lot. Just enough, you know, enough to kind of like quench the thirst, but not a lot. It's like, it's like, no. That's the one problem about like local bands and like, you know, shit like that, because sometimes it's hard as fuck to find their shit. It's like you see, you know, like a band that you really like live, you know, at like a local house show or like some local venue, and you're like, yo, I like you guys. What's your name? Blah, blah, blah. And, you know, you try to find some of their shit and, you know, later down the line, and you just barely can find anything. It's like, meh. You pretty much have to rely on like Facebook, Twitter, maybe Instagram for sure. Because I know like a lot of these bands use Instagram as a way to get their shit out there. So I know there's that too. So pretty much like Meta, essentially. Just like use the Meta platform and you'll probably have some luck. Or maybe Bandcamp or SoundCloud or something. Maybe. I mean, silver lining, really enough about that, for me at least, is just more of a mystery and a surprise when you actually finally hear the band. Because there's a lot of bands I, you know, haven't heard of yet, but just haven't really bothered to look up. Like a Girl Syndrome, like what Ripsy was talking about from earlier. Mostly just because, like, I've heard the band name before, but, you know, I was like, I want to hear them live first. I want to see how they perform. Because honestly, I have a way better time and get into a band and music way quicker and way more listening to them live. Like, there's a lot of bands I've discovered, you know, because I don't really listen to their stuff, you know, before I, you know, see them live. And I'm just like I can name a fuckload of bands. Like, from the first band that I saw live that I'd never seen before, that the first show I ever went to was Nightwish. The main opener was Camelot. I've heard of Camelot, you know, at that time, back in 2012. Never heard their shit, though. And that's probably why. Like, because my first show, the opener was a band I kind of heard before, but never heard of. You know, like, I've actually sat down and listened to. But, you know, I've heard them for the grapevine. And seeing them live, I was just like... And then, you know, obviously, Nightwish comes up, and I'm just like... So, I mean, I think that's probably why, you know, I've kind of kept to that, you know, premise, you know, to an extent. Because, like, I mean, you know, whether, like, the bands I know are openers or the headliners or somewhere in between, like, I always, you know, tend to have a lot more fun going to shows where sometimes I don't really know the bands and shit as much. You know, at least, you know, most of them, or at least some of them, or even one of them. You know, just because I happen to know some of the other ones. You know, because I'll go into a show for one band and realize, like, oh, fuck, I should go to this other band's shows more often when they come down on tour, you know, stuff like that. Like, you know, like, I've never discovered, like, say, Ferris, if it wasn't for Los Malvados, or Fishbone, without going to a Glory Hammer Ailstorm concert. I would have never known of Lutharo. Without that first concert I went to, I wouldn't know of Camelot as much. I mean, there's a lot of bands, and also Alien Weaponry. Not Alien Weaponry. What the fuck is that? Oh my god, it's not Alien Weaponry, but it's another goddamn New Zealand band. Oh, what were they called? Holy fuck, what were they called? Oh my god. It was 3 Days Grace shows, my 18th birthday. What the fuck was that band called? Oh, I looked this up before. Oh my god, it starts with like a T, I think. Fuck. I would have to literally dig deep for this, honestly, because so it's the August 16th, 2015 show. August 16th, 2015 at the Roseland. And it was 3 Days Grace, and that band. Oh, what the fuck was that band called? Oh my god. I guess an example of a band I've gotten into, but I've forgotten the name of because I haven't heard them in a fat minute. It's like, fuck. Well, shit. Dude, honestly, now that I think about it, there's a lot of bands like that where, I will have heard of them before, but then excuse my ether. That's kind of the problem about going to a lot of shows. You end up forgetting some of these names. There. Gotta take a piss real quick. Maybe, hopefully, the name will come back to me, maybe. That one band. Honestly, it definitely won't. God damn it. That's gonna annoy me tonight. I thought you were eating food. Yeah, I can't remember all names. Oh, yeah. I remember there was just one of the times I've seen Royal Blood live. There was a couple bands that were playing as openers that honestly I kind of forget the name of. There's been a few times where I've seen Iron Maiden, where the openers I kind of forget the names of. I know one of the times I've seen Iron Maiden, it was Steve Harris's son in his band that was opening for them. And then the latest time I've seen Iron Maiden was with the Who, the Hunnic rock band from Mongolia, which I'm glad. Honestly, I almost was able to see them at the Hawthorne Theater, so I could have been right up close to them. But seeing them live that way, that's good enough so far. But I know that eventually I might be able to see them at the Roseland or somewhere else where I'll be right in the front, be like, yeah. And also Minneapolis, they don't like pits, apparently. Some people do. People in my demographic do. But anyone who's older, than 35, no, they don't. I paid good money for this shit, and I don't want to have the tiniest inconvenience of that is called a mosh pit in my vicinity. Even though it's a metal show, and that should be expected. It's give me a break. I will admit, I hate people like that. I don't care how people mosh. There's been times where I get a little peeved by some people who mosh and shit, especially if they're doing doing shit like that. That annoys the fuck out of me. But you know what? Nothing annoys me more than someone is like, yo, what the fuck? You know, I'm being all butthurt because there's a mosh that's starting, or they happen to be next to and someone just really bumps into them like that or some shit because they got like knocked over on their feet a little bit or something. That shit annoys me. Because, I mean, I remember in Minneapolis, 2 different instances where someone was like, chill the fuck out. And I'm sitting there like, it's a pit. I'm not the only one who started this. If you want to get at me, get at literally everybody moshing right now. They're all just jumping around a little bit. I'm trying to make it tense because it's the Tripper. It's like one of the last songs in their fucking set. The show's almost over. Lighten the fuck up. Drink your beer that I see you holding in your fucking hand if you were worried about that spilling or whatever the fuck. It's like, give me a break. Like, when I'm in a pit and I still have, like, an open container, I'm like, go. I start chugging it because I'm like, I ain't wasting a drop. And, you know, I don't want, like, you know, fucking bullshit, you know, on the ground when it comes to liquids because that makes it more likely for people to fall and slip and hurt themselves. And we don't want that. That's not cool. That's lame. Anyone, like, throwing liquids, you know, shit like that in the fucking, you know, pit, you know, like water, alcohol, whatever the fuck it is, or even ice, you know, and that's not cool. I could get an unintentional moment where, like, someone, like, gets bumped into, you know, and they have, like, ice in their little cup because they have, like, a little mixed drink they drink already, and some of it falls out. Like, you know, sometimes it's just going to happen. But when people are like, yeah, and just, like, throwing it out everywhere, like, the last little bit of their drink, you know, like, if I had, like, you know, Rainier here at the show, I just start, like, chucking it around everywhere. Actually, I have an empty, well, I have this. I'd be like, yeah! I just start, like, you know, like, you know, chucks it, and you just got, like, fucking beer flying everywhere, and you get soaked in alcohol and shit. Usually piss water, or whatever the fuck. It's like, ugh. That's annoying. Rose, man, you should have been here earlier. I was already talking about that. Andrew just dropped the part. Wait, are you joking here? I just started reading all this silently. Just dropped the part 2, dude, and I have to say I was wrong. TJ did a sick fuck. You should see all the evidence in the video. It's worse, and we can do all kinds of things. And the worst is literally I can't describe because of TOS, but it involves sandpaper, an extension cord, a bag of marbles, a sack of Monopoly money, a lotus position, and a giraffe in a Wario costume. Wow. I haven't seen the video yet, but I know what you're talking about. I already kind of talked about it before. I guess, you know, it could come back up a little bit, but, you know. I just also realized, is my shirt technically a TOS? I just now realized this because of Headless Pez. You could probably tell by the overt phallicness of the shirt. I just started realizing that maybe I need to be modest for YouTube standards. I could show the name at least. Headless. Well, there you go. Headless Pez. There was literally a nut on that one. I noticed that. I didn't even notice it initially, but there is. Naughty Ignar. Don't blame me. Blame Headless Pez. Which, by the way, they're pretty fucking badass. Like, my friend Tyler just literally hooked me up with the show tonight. And I was like, and I didn't even know until he showed up at my house, surprisingly. Like, I was, like, Brian called me. It literally, while I was in the middle of that phone call, Tyler shows up. While Brian's telling me, yo, Tyler's going to show up. We're going to go to the Twilight Cafe for a show. You want to go? And I was like, I thought we were going to go to Duffy's. I remember that being the initial plan. It's like, well, you know, things changed a little bit. I was like, and then out of nowhere, my dog starts going, and then goes right up to my window. And then Tyler opens the window. I was like, hey, bro, you ready to go? And I was like, Tyler's here. I'm going to figure out what's happening now. I just hung up. And then I was like, so we're going to a show? And it's like, yeah, Headless Pez is opening for this metal show at Twilight Cafe. And I was like, you said Headless Pez, so you know what? I immediately am already sold, so let's go. Because he was going to cover for me anyway, and buy my drinks, bought the shirt for me, and I was like, all right, well, hell yeah. Let's fucking send it. So, and plus, you know, I got a couple good little stickers. You know, I already used all of them up. You know, because I put a couple in Duffy's, and also I had a whole roll of these for rectal use only stickers, and I plastered those in Duffy's. Actually, I'm pretty sure I have a picture on here. If not, maybe my other phone for sure. Oh yeah, it's on this phone. Damn. Well, I'll have to show it at some point. Also, why does every smoking gun video have to be 12 hours long? Why can't it ever be like a 2-minute long video? This person's a piece of shit. Here's the news story of them being arrested for child porn. Okay, bye. Video ends. I mean, I don't know, dude. Honestly, I mean, I don't know if I care enough to really watch the video in the first place, but I mean, you know, I noticed this too, by the way. The comments are turned off. Dude, I'm gonna be honest and blunt. That's some coward shit. It's like, dude, why did you turn the comments off if you think that maybe, you know, like not everything's credible? And also, even then, your ass has been deleting comments on the original video if people happen to be critical because you think they're a bunch of trolls or bots or, you know, simps to teach or whatever the fuck. Like, you have your own justification for it, but you just delete a bunch of comments, you know, on whim. So, you know, based on if you like them or not. So, why are they turned off? What? Because, what, you're worried about trolls fucking brigading you? It's like, give me a break, dude. It's just pathetic. It's just fucking pathetic, man. Like, we don't need your life story. Get to the point. I mean, exactly. Unless, you know, like, some of the details are, like, you know, exceptional. Like, there's, like, receipts and whatever the fuck. I mean, I don't know. It's just stupid. I don't care enough, you know, to, like, continue, you know, using brain matter about it at this point. I already, you know, like, if you want to kind of hear a little bit more about it, you know, I talked about it earlier for, like, at, like, the 40-ish minute mark to, you know, something. But even then, like, you know, when I was talking about him, I'm also talking more about other shit broadly that doesn't even really have to do with them anyway. Like, a lot of what I was talking about initially, I was even using tandem of other examples and other things about this, like, you know, call out drama culture bullshit when it comes to artists. Because, I mean, especially in social media, like, I guess I'll, you know, pontificate it further with this specifically. Because I think this is interesting to talk about more so than Marshall's fucking grievances. You know, like, so, I mean, there's always been like this immense, you know, like culture of like gatekeeping and extremism in the sense of like, you know, purity testing, you know, not really in the sense of like ideology, but like in purity testing. Like the PRMC, you know, was literally dedicated to trying to regulate and control what art is, and that kind of helped enforce a lot of this rift of like what ought to be okay when it comes to art and also how artists ought to be. And like from the very fucking beginning, you know, like artists from Jello Biafra, from Mojo Nixon to Gull from, yeah, like and shit, like all, you know, like all these different dudes, you know, like have not just dudes, but women too, like all these different artists, like, you know, Lucille, like from way back in the 20s and the 30s, like, you know, Shave 'Em Dry. That song is fucking vulgar as fuck. I got nipples on my titties and some on my ass or some shit. I don't even know what it is, but it's like, I mean, it's just like, I got put so tight to make a dead man come on, mama now. Dun, 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 dun. I mean, it's a jazz song. It's a swingy jazz song, but it's talking about how a woman's got a pussy so tight and nipples big on her titties and all that shit. She's talking about, like, I'm this voluptuous, big, busty, sexy woman and I want to fuck. Like, that's literally the song in a nutshell. Like, and the whole idea of Shave 'Em Dry is basically like shaving them nuts so dry that there's nothing but dust coming out of them. You know what I mean? It's like she's talking about how much she wants to fuck, basically. I mean, it's a raunchy ass fucking song, and that was in the 30s. Like, that song came out in 1933. So this shit's been going on for a long, long fucking time, and it's exceptionally fucking disappointing when local artists or indie artists partake in that shit. It's like you got no fucking like inherent need to be, controlled and leashed up by these fucking whims of like, these regulatory agencies and shit. Fuck them. There's plenty of different local, regional, and indie record labels out there broadly that will be more than willing to accept you. And also, there's even big record labels out there that are definitely more than willing to accept you because they like shit like that. I know, at least in the metal, community, broadly, internationally, Napalm Records especially is known for having kind of funny, silly, kind of like, busting balls, like kind of taking the piss out of like the seriousness of metal and shit like that kind of bands. Like Grail Knights, Nanowar of Steel, Glory Hammer, like all these different bands. And they're good and amazing. And when it comes to the musicality, very serious, but the overall like specifics of the music lyrically and their like theme and sometimes even lore, at least for Glory Hammer, especially like the lore of the music and shit, it's not meant to be taken seriously. I mean, it's just one of those things where, you can find these outlets. You don't have to be fucking restricted to like a certain standard. And it's just stupid. And even if you don't abide by a certain like idea or like, and maybe necessarily agree with certain elements of your music of the past, let it still be out there for people to enjoy. Because, I mean, plenty of artists do that. It's like, there's honestly plenty of artists out there that vehemently hate the fuck out of certain songs or certain music that they have made. Like, Kurt Cobain's, for, Smells Like Teen Spirit. And I also know that, Sabaton, like a few of them, they all have different songs they hate playing live. But I think Joachim's songs that he doesn't really like playing live, I think if I remember correctly, is what was it? I think it was fucking I think it was what was it? It's one of the more famous songs. Fuck. Now I'm forgetting. Honestly, because I know so many of their songs and pretty much all of them are bangers. It's kind of hard to choose. I know. But the point being, though, it's just like, I mean, a lot of these artists out there, they'll have music that they make that they just don't like. And if anything, kind of fucking despise utterly. But yet they play it live or, they'll appease fans and just let it be, and just let it be out there because like, hey, people still like the music, so whatever. I don't like the song or I don't like this and that about whatever, but, hey, people like it, so whatever, like I'll let them enjoy it. If anything, sometimes you'll have artists that will just kind of be a little loosey about it. Well, Joe Biafra and the Dead Kennedys, like, despite, there being kind of technical, like, legal conflicts about who owns the ownership of the rights of certain songs or not, both of them will play some songs, from each other. Well, more Jello playing, Dead Kennedy songs, more than not. But a lot of it will be like, Police Struck or California Uber Alice, stuff like that, where Jello will still sing those live with his own band, but the Dead Kennedys will too. And a lot of it's just because, there's been like, especially with Ray and Biafra, like both of them had like at a certain point, conflict about who had the actual rights to certain music, and that's why they broke up. And it got to a major lawsuit to where the band separated for a while. Then got back together, for some time, and then back in 2001 without Biafra, and then had different singers over time. And now they don't have their drummer anymore because he passed away. So now they have a different drummer, which is unfortunate because, dude, the drummer for Dead Kennedys, I think his last name is Priojo. Like, dude, that guy fucking went hard. Like his like drumming skills and shit. Like, I mean, if you look at like rehearsal videos or like those old like OG like 70s 80s like we're in the studio recording shit or just jamming and stuff, or live videos of early Dead Kennedys with him at his peak, holy fuck, dude, like the motherfucker could drum. It's like any kind of person being conservative. Screen doors on submarines. Well, exactly, yeah. Also, there's like a really awesome YouTube short of I'm pretty sure there's actually a full video of it where back in the 80s, yes, Oprah Winfrey, by the way, has been around this long, where Jello Biafra was on Oprah Winfrey show back in the 80s or like the early 90s. And when it came to Tipper Gore and the PRMC and this whole like censorship and kind of like, moral grandstanding about like what artists ought to be and represent or present when it comes to their art and restricting, art itself, like Jello, like, to this, like, honestly is prevalent to this day when it comes to shit like that. Like, I mean, what would Jello do? And what pretty much the TLDR version is what a lot of people, at least in the progressive left, say today. Or it's like, hey, if there's like, some music that, my kids don't like, because I have 2 daughters, that's what Joe's saying. Like, he has his own children. And it's like, and if they, like are listening to some stuff I don't like, I will sit them down and be like, why do you like this? It's like, what's the reasoning and, about that? Because I might not like it, but I want to understand why you do. Because like of X, Y, or Z, like can actually open a, dialogue and understanding and talking with your children, like parents talking to their kids and like establishing trust and, making sure they know they're not in trouble, but, at least trying to understand why maybe, like they have the interest that they do or whatever, it's like, that's pretty much like the fundamental of what he was talking about. And the entire crowd in the video like goes off about it. It's like, woo, like fucking clapping and giving him a round of applause about it because he's fucking right. And, Mojo Nixon even debated Pat Buchanan and a few other conservative dipshits on, what was it called? Fucking, what was that show called? Way back in the day. What the fuck? I'm forgetting the name of it right off the bat. But it was like, the mid to like late 90s where it was like Pat Buchanan and a few others that were debating him about like freedom of expression in music and art, and pretty much he said the exact same thing on that show. And it's like, I mean, a lot of these artists, especially shocker, a lot of artists who tend to be lefties or anarchists or progressives in some way, shape, or form, tend to kind of fucking get it, a lot, especially when it comes to the ultimate sense of what expression is. And a lot of those artists too, by the way, are also advocates of the idea of making music and art, period, like public domain. Because ultimately, like, art is art, and there's people who make original stuff, but there's going to be people who look at that original stuff and take something from that to make something bigger. And music fundamentally is about that. Like, it's about like, like, what do you think, especially in rap and hip hop and shit like that? What do you think a lot of the core of that, type of music is when it comes to creating it? Sampling. You sample stuff. I mean, a lot of music will literally sample like different tracks, from like, a movie or a quote that someone makes in a, a film or a show or something, and then starts in with a song, or some shit like that. It's like there's all sorts of different things where things are sampled, other works of art that they take and make another piece of art. What do you think of collages, for example? You're taking a shitload of art and then making basically another art piece out of all sorts of other pieces of art. You just manipulate in a way to where you make another art piece out of it. But there had to be art, initially to create that in the first place, to manipulate to make that. I mean, fundamentally, like, I mean, there is kind of a sense of fair use in public domain when it comes to art and expression, when it comes to stuff like that. And I'm an advocate of that too myself. Like, if I end up, being able to create some albums or music and have my shit out there, I welcome the idea of people like, covering, those songs or, making it better, like, or producing it a little bit more, like remixing it or whatever the fuck they want to do with it. Like, your world's your oyster when it comes to that. I put my shit out there. Do what you want with it. I'm not going to be like some greedy fuck that's like, no, you have to like have $10, per use of like remixing or something. It's like, fuck that. I need like $100 per, fucking 10 views off of that shit or something, bitch. It's like, because ultimately art isn't about the monies. It's about the expression. Because art is ultimately, that's what it is. It's just a form of expression, and that's what it should be. And if people want to express, like, an inspiration from a piece of art by taking that and making something else with it, I love that. I welcome that. It's kind of partly why I am at least okay with having AI as a tool when it comes to creating art. Because, like, in places where people might struggle, when it comes to creating something that they kind of imagine because of a certain piece of, like, art they, are inspired by or something, then, that could potentially help them, as a tool. Unfortunately, in our hyper commodified, form, of like art and expression, especially when it comes to AI and stuff, like that's not the case. It's really kind of antithetical to it. It's the opposite. And I can get why people are so against AI just on that virtue alone, but it's like, what if we seize the means of what that technology is, so it's a tool for the artist instead of being a bane to the artist? Because as it stands now, I can see it being a bane. But, if we seize the means of that technology, of what that actually is for the people publicly and broadly as, a free, use, like, tool for when it comes to people's expression of art, whatever that might be, at least, to help tweak some certain things, or maybe, like, create, like, a background, for, a specifically detailed piece that they want to make or whatever, it's like, let it be, it's like, let it be so. Because I think, honestly, like, there's a lot of people out there that want to create a lot of things, but especially monetarily, the current means to create a lot of that type of stuff is out of people's reach. But a tool like that could probably help out a lot and kind of cut the, extra middleman kind of elements and, like, kind of cut some of the fat out of that to where it makes it easier for people to achieve that. But it's just like, the idea about, like, AI is treated needs to change. I mean, that's for sure. I can totally understand, people's concerns about it. I just think that, trying to stop it is just out of the question. Like, that's just not possible. But at least, when it comes to seizing it as, like, a, utility, that actually could be a tool and a, benefit, more so than a commodified boon that is just going to, like, really take a dent into human creativity, then I think there could be something better out of that. Man, fucking Robinhood better give me that 20 for me, because that's gonna make rationing this shit less fucked. Just hope it actually goes through. If not, I could probably hit him up. I know there's a way that I could do that, but still. Just nasty. It snowed where I'm at. It snowed in Florida, apparently. There's snow in Florida. Can you please give me your weather? It's kind of nice and nippy and cold outside, but, I mean, honestly, I kind of want the snow. If it's going to be cold as shit and I have to, like, wear my Ushanka and everything else in between, like, I want that. Which means I could go on my walk because of the ice. Well, there's snow still. I mean, how bad is the ice? Like, is it actually, like, was there sleet and, like, mixture of snow and rain where it did create that ice? Because if so, then yeah, don't do it. But if it's just straight snow, then chances are you probably don't got to worry about ice. Just snow. Which some parts, some areas might be a little icy potentially, but that just kind of depends. Slippery. Oh, is it like slushy? Is snow all slushy? And because it's nighttime now, especially, it freezes over, and then the next day it's going to be frozen over still. Oh, shit. You got that. Oh, dude, you get snow, and it's like the worst kind of fucking, snow winter. It's like it's cold enough to snow, not warm enough to really stick well, so it kind of melts a little bit. So you get this weird slush, this slushiness. And when it's nighttime, that freezes over, and then thus the next day you have ice everywhere. Oh, dude, I hate that. That's the worst fucking like snow winter thing ever. Like when it comes to weather with snow, that's the worst. It's just better for it to just be cold as shit. You get clouds, and instead of rain, it's just snow. Because then it's dry, and then all that snow, I mean, eventually it just compresses. It doesn't freeze or anything. It just compresses, and then it just becomes like a solid thing that your feet or your shoes, boots, or whatever you got are going to grip to it a little bit. So at least when it comes to that, that's not bad. And around here, it's a 50-50 chance of that happening, because sometimes it'll rain for a while, and then it'll get so cold while it's still wet where you'll get like, a little bit of, like frost and ice a little bit, and then it starts snowing, and then that compounds on top of it. It just becomes bullshit. And a lot of ice. Because it's at that temperature where it's warm enough for it, to not stick, but cold enough to snow. It might snow again tomorrow. If it snows enough, you might not have to worry about the ice. Depending on how much traffic and activity is on your, path that you walk. Like, the area that you walk, I obviously don't know, it's your area, but if there's a lot of high traffic, on the sidewalks or the paths that you walk usually, then you might still get the ice. But if it's low traffic area and not a lot of people walk on the path that you walk on, then you might be okay. That depends on how much snow falls, though. If it like snows all day, then I think you'll be okay. But if it's only like, in the morning and then stops snowing at like 2 in the afternoon and that's it, then it might be a little fucked. Just a little bit. So I'll just kind of gauge it to see how much snow is falling outside. And if there's, a decent amount, I'd say go for it. Just, layer up. But if not, well, I don't know, like, just walk around the block and that's it. I do that a few times. I don't know if you live in a suburban area where there's blocks and shit like that, like I live in, but you can do that too. That tasted gross. It was that and just stomach acid, and that tasted awful. Man, after all the fun, I'm just really torturing myself. Is this charged? Ooh, 95%. It's good enough. You know what? I'm going to use this to help me. But first, we're going to put it down to like... we're going to do it at 16. There we go. Lost Mary. Mango twist. Well, too bad that this Lost Mary was actually lost, and my friend Brian recovered it, and now him and I have just been in business, so. Damn it. It's too much airflow going on. Oh, it's that. I gotta wait for that to turn off. Come on, turn off. Oh, no. All right. Now it did. Well, I guess I'll have to give it a minute. Make sure the airflow stops. Actually, here. Still a little bit of airflow. I'm gonna see if I can do a smoke ring. Gonna loosen the jowls a little bit. Right. I think I almost had one at the start, but damn it. Maybe it needs to be higher. Oh, hold on. Alright, we can do it on the max real quick. Alright. This is so minty. My breath feels so minty and fresh now. Still too much of airflow in here. God damn it. Damn it. It's too much of a fucking airflow. Bullshit. Boo. Boo. Let's hope it'll work, but poor Floridians. Do we really feel bad for the Floridians? Let's be honest. Do we really feel bad for the Floridians? I mean, they're messing up the squirrels. They're fucking the gators. They're voting for DeSantis to Trump shit. Like, I mean, do we really feel bad for them? And plus, they got the, you know, like the biggest, like one of their towns, like it has the biggest Scientology demographic in the fucking country. They got like Scientologists all up in that bitch. So, nah. Nah, fuck them. Exactly, yeah, fuck them. Man, fuck their ass. That's what I say. That's what I say, damn it. Poop wiener. Poop wiener.
What?
Poop wiener.
Whatever that is.
Poop wiener. Poop and wiener. Poop wiener. He's so confused. He's like, what? I have to do at least a little bit of a troll. No wonder Hurricane went back for seconds with them. I'm pretty sure that Hurricane not only went back for seconds, but even thirds. I'm pretty sure it literally took like a double tap and then it kind of like, we're going back to the same area for like on the edge. We're gonna like fuck this area, like in this area that we already fucked twice over. We're gonna like fuck that a little bit more, and then we're going. Right. If I remember, I'm pretty sure like the pathway of that fucking absurd ass hurricane literally went to the same spot 3 times. If I remember, I'm pretty sure that's what happened. I was like, damn, bro. Damn. Oof. Oof. What song is this? I don't think I've heard this one yet. Oh, it's a Buy Me Bambi song, but I don't think it's played in the background yet. Like Squirrel into Sea Bear. What do we do this time? I don't know. I guess I just don't like you guys. America in a nutshell. The world is like, what the fuck did we do this time? America proceeding to like invade a sovereign nation for no reason besides like, you know, like reasons. I don't know. I just don't like you guys. Fuck you. That's why. Like, I mean, pretty much. Like, damn. Shit. Got a few little scribble scrapples left. Oh. Kim? Let's Well, let's get y'all into a good little spot where you all can go nicely into my lungs at some point, one way or another. Sweet. And you gotta like, old ass grinders that just get so caked up to where you can just kind of scrape them slowly but surely, no matter how many times you do it. You always get a little something, something out of it. As you can tell, my rationing that I'm saying is fucking real because goddamn, this is ridiculous. Rob Hurt better come in clutch tomorrow, because if not, I'm not gonna be happy. It is the weekend though. Fuck. I'm pretty sure the markets are closed over the weekends, Saturday and Sunday. I swear to fucking God, if like I have to wait until Monday for that 20, I'm not gonna be pleased, like at all. I guess I'll find out officially tomorrow, I suppose. Because Sunday, I know for a fucking fact that they ain't gonna be open. So, yay. Whoa. That's always Peachy King. How much do I have of this left? Wow, shocker. Almost empty. Low-key, Damby Bryan, for convincing me to get that monstrosity. Nice. Despite that being really the Luciferian trifecta, that actually wasn't that bad. I think my lungs have now become numb. Oh, you know what? It's F8. That helped me. Shit. Should probably take that a little bit more often now. Yeah, that's still tastes gross, but doesn't fuck me up as much as I thought it would. I'm gonna at least try one more attempt for a smoke ring. Let's see if I can do it. Didn't work. Yeah, I need to get back into the fucking smoke rings. God damn. It's been a minute since I've actually properly done them. Quit burning. I'm just gonna have to practice on my own at some point. God damn it. It's kind of annoying. I used to fucking do smoke rings like a motherfucker. That's like my favorite thing to do all the time, and now I can't even do them. Because I know this is like basically the main motion. Just doing that. But nope. Guess I forgot how to do those. That's fucking lame. Ugh. Boo. Boo. Okay, the longer that sits, the more sour it gets, and the more gross it gets. You know what sounds amazing though? Some ramen. Something simple. I kind of want to make me some mashed potatoes, but the ingredients require milk. Yeah, we're out of milk. So I'm thinking I need to snag me some milk tomorrow. I think I have enough balls to collect where I could probably just pay for it with that. I have a multi-adventure thing going on for tomorrow for sure. I guess we shall see what happens. Because, well, you know what? Wait, I just realized I might be able to substitute. Instead of milk, what could I substitute with? I'm gonna see if I can maybe find some substitutes for milk, because I think I might be able to. Maybe extra butter? You don't know. Thinking about it, maybe that might just be it. Just a little extra butter. It might be it, actually, now I think about it. Because I know, at least, for the instant, mashed potatoes I'm looking at, it requires at least like 3 tablespoons of butter. But it requires like a half cup of milk. So maybe I can just like, instead of 3 tablespoons, maybe do like 5 tablespoons of butter. Just butter the fuck out of that bitch. My cholesterol will be insane, but hey, at least all that is storing up, some dank deliciousness, all up my gut. And I need that shit. That's what I need. I need a little like caloric fatness. I mean, I definitely need it. If there's any motherfucker like this stick bug twig motherfucker like I am, I need it. Like, cause I mean, I might have a little belly, but there's some love handles. There's some curves. I like that, but it's like I need a little bit more of a twinkish version of that instead of just like this weird amalgamation of I don't even know. I mean, there needs to be a little bit of adjustments within time. Oh, the longer that sits, oh my god, it gets sour. Oh my god. Oh, Jesus, that's fucking gross. Oh. There's like 1 gulp left. All right, that ramen is going to clean my palate. This is insane. This is ridiculous. I'm figuring out will in a way, to solve this ration situation, and I'm not having another full local. This first one in years, and never again. It's starting to really get gross. Ooh. Good, but nasty. I thought there was more than one gulp left. I thought there was less than one gulp left. It's more than a gulp. Ah! Come on. Kill it. Ugh. Jesus Christ. I'd literally rather take a straight shot of goddamn gin or tequila or just the most piss water fucking vodka you could ever think of. I'd rather have that than that. Oh my God. Oh, that was nasty. God, that was gross. That was gross. Ugh. Ah. But my boy Brian is passed so fucked out that, you know, he hasn't even touched that for loco that he brought back with him. I'm glad he did, because, I mean, I probably would have killed that first before even cracking that, and oh my fucking God, I would have, that would have been worse. That would have been way worse. That's all him. He could have that. He can keep it. Oh, it's all right. Ramen night it is, and I'm about to hella feast. So goddamn good on that bitch. Because I really need a palate cleanser. And luckily, ramen does not take that long to cook. Like, maximum 15 minutes. So I have to suffer, like, a smidge. A smidge. You know what? That literally made it so much better. Papa bless this mango vape. Oh my God, that made it so much better. That saved me. Holy shit. I'm not gonna lie, my gut was starting to really not feel good, but that just saved it. Now that I don't taste that bonk ass bullshit, that really helped. Now I'm floating now. That fucking vape saved me. Oh shit. I'm still gonna get my ramen though after this bowl. But holy shit, that helped. That saved me. Oh, that felt so good. Got some good stretches out of that too. Nice. Oh shit. Well, ramen's calling my name now. So, you know, without further ado, I'll piece it out for now and see y'all next one. So, toodaloo.